Oh, hi everybody. This is Megan the Man, aka Cartoons 22. Welcome to my next reaction video. Today's video is we have planned to watch Eyeballs Everything You Need to Know by Foot of a Ferret. So yeah, another Foot of a Ferret video. He's done everything you need to know about about Steven Universe and the Sonic movie, and now he's doing one on Gravity Falls. So yeah, the last Gravity Falls I reacted to was from Blame It on George, who did a video on the Cypher Quest, on the Cypher Hunt, which is basically for the Spill Cypher statue and the treasure. And luckily they found a lot of stuff in there in the pilot. Yeah, they had to find the pilot by going on a treasure hunt. That's amazing. Okay, so yeah, let's start up with the first video: Animation Explosion, Toy Story 4. And yeah, I do like the first three Toy Story movies. They were good, and this one was amazing. And I thought it was a perfect conclusion to the Toy Story franchise. And I thought it was a great way to end, unless they decide to scrap that proper ending in favor of Toy Story 5, but who knows if that'll ever happen. I think they should just go with 4. I mean, if they still continue doing the franchise, it just gets stale. Yeah. But anyway, let's get started in 3, 2, 1.
If you're a Toy Story fan who's just getting into these movies, chances are you'll see Toy Story 4 as this unnecessary sequel that doesn't need to exist. Which is exactly how most were feeling when it was coming out. I mean, I love the Toy Story trilogy, so I didn't really see a reason for this to exist. I didn't expect it to be terrible, it's just I didn't see a point for it. The first film is a classic, the second film is one of my all-time favorite movies, period, and the third one was still a great time despite being the weakest in the trilogy. It managed to conclude the story with Woody, Buzz, and the gang in a satisfying way that nobody could have ever expected Pixar to make a fourth film. When I finally saw the movie, I still felt like it didn't need to exist, but I found it an enjoyable film from beginning to end. And yes, I will have some unpopular opinions to say about it. Since the events of Toy Story 3, Andy's toys were given to Bonnie and they're having as fun as ever. But Woody is struggling to adapt to a new lifestyle where he's no longer the favorite of the group. So he sneaks into Bonnie's bag on her way to her kindergarten orientation and secretly helps her make a toy out of trash known as Forky. Forky, however, believes he is actually trash and constantly throws himself away, particularly when the family is going on a road trip. Woody also gets separated from the group and runs into Bo Peep after having not seen her for so long. Before anything else, I just want to say that the animation for this movie is jaw-dropping.
Yeah, I
It
mean, we
almost
haven't
feels
seen
like
Bo
an
Peep since
entire
Toy
movie
Story
took
2.
place in an alternate
Or the
timeline
Buzz
in
Light
real world.
or
The
the
textures,
Buzz
great
Lightyear Star
graphics, and
Command
it all
pilot.
makes for a visually stunning movie and really shows how far
Probably.
Pixar has come along since 1995 when the first Toy Story came
Yeah, I
out.
guess we
If
haven't
I
seen
have
her
to be
since the
honest,
Buzz
I think
Lightyear
this is
pilot.
by far the funniest Toy Story movie outside of the second film. I seriously needed a good laugh after how painfully unfunny Pets 2 was. The new characters they introduce excel the most when they're trying to be funny, whether it's Ducky and Bunny's incredible dynamic, Duke Kaboom's overarching backstory, or Forky's existential crisis. Though the fact that Buzz had to rely on his voice box for his subconscious did seem a little odd and not something I'd expect Buzz to do. That said, as funny as the new characters are, with the exception of Forky, they don't serve a whole lot to the story. It just seems
Why?
like they were added either so Pixar could add more star-studded celebrities to this movie, or they wanted to add more comedy. I don't know. I felt like the humor they already set up from the start was fine enough. I still really enjoyed the new characters, but I couldn't help but feel they were only added to serve as comedy props throughout the film, even when they tried to give Duke a backstory in the movie. So if you went in expecting to see familiar faces for a good chunk of it, you're gonna feel
I mean,
majorly
they played a
disappointed.
huge part in the
Also, with the
third
new
one in the
characters,
Halloween
Forky
Christmas
is
specials.
easily my favorite. I feel as though he's the only one who serves justice to the story and never came across as annoying. But hey, Bo Peep is back, and this is easily her best role in the franchise because at least the filmmakers didn't need to do anything cliche to make Bo seem badass, like giving her a sword. She comes across as a complex character who I got to sympathize with very quickly since the start of the film. That's not much given that she didn't get a whole lot to do in Toy Story 1 and 2, and simply being Woody when needed. And finally, there's Gabby, the dog.
Yeah, she only had a mind.
But because she also proves to be one of the most sympathetic villains in animation history, as we get to see her soft side and how desperately she wants to be adopted by a little girl named Harmony. By the time she actually finds a child to keep, I really felt proud of her. But most importantly, I need to talk about Woody, and this is where the big spoilers come in. Throughout the course of the series, it's always been about a toy's connection with their owner, and Woody was no exception to that. He loved Andy and was initially caring more about being his favorite toy than anything else in the world. Woody has grown so much throughout the series, which is why he's always been my favorite character. Since now he's more concerned about making sure his child is happy regardless if he's their favorite or not. Even if Toy Story 4 has less to do with toys being played with, it managed to conclude Woody's arc more flawlessly than I could have ever imagined. He's become much more than a toy to make one child happy. He's allowed to explore the world and make more children happy, which was evident when Him and Bo tried to help Gabby Gabby introduce herself to a lost child, and even more evident in showing Forky the joy of being loved by a child. Even despite all of that, he decides it's now best to help other children and toys rather than staying with Bonnie and the other toys, and this didn't come across as frustrating to me. And on top of that, let's discuss the ending. The one part of the film that everybody hates or loves to joke about. You've probably seen one comment about how Andy will come back and things will be awkward now that Woody's not there. What's my input on the ending? I actually really like it. Unlike a certain crappy sequel, it was pulled off in a way that made more sense. As I said, it's never about Woody giving up on a child at all, but more that he's giving up on the idea to simply dedicate his life to one child. I know Bo Peep states she's off seeing the world, but it's blatantly established that she still remains to be a toy to multiple children wherever she goes. I mean, why else were the carnival toys reporting about groups of children in different areas? So they can play with them. It's as simple as that. And need I once again bring up Gabby Gabby's arc? She had to learn to not just simply dedicate her life to one child, but rather open herself up to other children to find the right one in the end. Woody's choice at the end of the movie reflects that he doesn't always have to be the sole toy that's there for Bonnie. He spent his entire life being Andy's core toy, and despite not being loved as much as Bonnie, still does everything he can to make her happy. His realization at the end is that being given up by one child is a part of a journey that any toy will face. Regardless if you're a toy or human, you always have the chance to explore new things in life. A toy making one child happy isn't their singular purpose. Does it seem
Yeah,
weird
that's
for
true.
Woody to leave the same friends he's been with for years? Sure, but I don't really believe it's a forever kind of goodbye. I mean, if Woody found Bo after all these years, I'm sure they can figure out a way to see Woody again. You know, considering he now travels with a carnival, I just think it's a little unfair to call out Woody for being selfish by leaving at the end. Bonnie moved on from Woody well before Woody moved on from Bonnie, and it makes sense that he would finally move on because not everybody is going to be Andy. Let's also not forget that Woody kept bringing up Andy subconsciously after all these years because he could let go of Andy while still trying to be there for another kid who barely notices he's there. Sure, that may fly against the ending of Toy Story 3 where Bonnie promised to Andy that she would take care of him, but she is only 5 years old, I'm assuming, and kids do tend to forget certain things.
Yeah,
Regardless, Woody ultimately
I forget
decided to
stuff all
move
the
on
time
from both
too.
Andy and Bonnie so he could be with the one person who will always be there for him. Final verdict? If you're so clingy to Toy Story 3 being the final film in the franchise, then you don't need to see this movie. Even as the filmmaker said, it's not really a continuation, but rather a standalone sequel. And as it stands, I really enjoyed Toy Story 4, despite how skeptical I was of the idea that it existed. All
Yeah,
I'm
it's pretty
hoping
much a
for is that people
standalone
that does
sequel.
enjoy Toy Story 5, as that would feel like even more of an insult to the series. Considering they're focusing more on original films like Onward and Soul after this movie, I'm excited to see where the future takes Pixar and the impact they've continued to bring forward after nearly 30 years.
Yeah. Okay, that was a good review. Is there anything else? Nah, no. I mean, yeah. The original trilogy was just made, and the third movie was a conclusion to the story arc they had. But the fourth movie was made as a standalone sequel to bring a proper ending to this Toy Story franchise. Even though they still had some bonus content on Disney Plus, like Forky Asked a Question and the Lamp Life shorts. But yeah. Anyway, let's get on to the last video. Gravity Falls, everything you need to know. Now I know everything about Gravity Falls, but in case I forget, I'm gonna watch this video by Foot of a Ferret because he did a video on Steven Universe. Because he did a similar video to Steven Universe, then he did Sonic the Hedgehog, and now he's doing Gravity Falls. Hope he does more of these, like hope he does a Rick and Morty Everything You Need to Know, or an Adventure Time Everything You Need to Know. So yeah, more recap videos to help remember my mind. So let's get started in 3, 2, 1.
Things used to be way simpler, man. When I was a kid, my favorite cartoons didn't have stories. They were goofy comedies where literally anything could happen to the characters and it would all reset back to normal by the next episode. You could straight up explode a man and he'd be back next week and no one would ever talk about it again. But these days, all these cartoons I'm watching have plots and arcs and it's exhausting, man.
Yeah, back in my childhood, cartoons just really didn't really have plot arcs. They're just there to be goofy. That is until the 2010s. That is until the 2010s when things started to change. It's like every modern day future cartoon that gets released nowadays have story arcs or plots, like an anime.
So, just like I did with Steven Universe, today I want to bring you guys the entire story of Gravity Falls.
Okay.
It's going to be very simplified because this video can't be 45 minutes. But before we get started, if you like what I'm doing on this channel and want to see more, then be sure to head down, hit that subscribe
Then make sure the
button,
video's not 45 minutes, you fool.
whatever, to make sure you never miss a new video. And while you're down there,
Because I don't want to stay here for that long.
You'll find my YouTube merch shelf where you can pick up some cool Foot of a Ferret t-shirts. My personal favorite is the Brief History logo tee, and you can tell it's my favorite because I wear it in every freaking video I make. So if you want to support the channel, subscribing, turning on notifications, and checking out the merch are all great ways to do it, and I really appreciate it. And with all that said, this is Gravity Falls, the whole story, or whatever I decide to call this video. So, here we go. Gravity Falls is the story of Mabel and Dipper Pines, a pair of twins spending their summer vacation in Gravity Falls, Oregon.
Yep.
Dipper is a nerdy, dorky 12-year-old with the voice of a 30-year-old man who likes mysteries, conspiracies, and probably watches all
Seriously, they used a clip of his actor from the parody infomercial years ago. By the way, that parody commercial also featured a phone number. If you call in, you get a silly voice message from Uncle Stan. Why does he make him look like Rufus from Kim Possible? Not the one from the live action movie. Not the one from the horrible movie. I meant the original animated one.
Starts picking up on all these weird happenings and asks Uncle Stan about it, but he's like, leave. So while wandering the woods alone,
He was like, "Ha, no!"
in a tree that opens up a hatch in the ground. This seems safe. He looks inside the secret grass hatch and finds a dusty, musty book with a giant 6-fingered hand and the number 3 on it. I see absolutely nothing unusual about this whatsoever. Inside the book are journal entries from an anonymous author detailing tons of the weird things going on in Gravity Falls. And this journal comes in handy as tons of crazy things start happening
joke.
Like a lot of stuff, man. It's like they built their house on a weirdness magnet or something. For a lot of seasons, Season 1, the show takes on a monster of the week kind of thing. But there is this underlying mystery from episode 1. At the end of that episode, we see Stan sneaking through the shack at night. He enters a code on a vending machine that opens up a secret doorway. Ooh.
Spooky!
Psychic powers. Again. Somehow. One day, Dipper, Mabel, and Seuss go to see Gideon's show to scope out the competition, and Gideon falls in love with Mabel in a matter of, like, seconds. But Mabel's like, I have a crush on every boy, but not you. Mabel sends him like, we live in a society.
She made her sound like something from Teen Girl Squad! Along with Teen Girl Squad music!
Because Gideon is just so mentally stable, he swears vengeance on the entire Pines family by scheming to steal the mystery shack. And then we find out that Gideon has a journal just like Dipper's. But this one has a 2 on it. That's 1 less than 3.
Yeah, what is that? What the heck?
Not much happens for a while, and then Gideon returns.
What was up with that puppet?
Steal the deed to the mystery shack from Grunkle
Nah, doesn't matter.
in the most extra way possible. So he summons dude in a bow tie and tall hat named Bill Cipher. You see, Bill's a demon, an ancient interdimensional demon who can enter people's minds. Bill seems to have some kind of history with the Pines, but we'll go into that later. Right now, Bill hops into Stan's mind to look for the combination to his safe.
Yeah, basically gives us an early bird cameo of
To make a long
Ford.
story short, the gang stops Bill from getting the combination. Gideon calls off the deal, and he just blows up the safe while everyone's busy running around in Stan's head. Yeah, they didn't really think about that part, did they? So Gideon has the deed now. That's
Oh no, he has the deed.
found the mystery shack to build meta commentary. But it goes deeper than that. See, Gideon's searching for the other journal. He's got number 2, he wants number 1, and he doesn't actually know that a third one exists. But he does know that once all the journals are together, they can unlock ultimate power or something.
Ultimate power. Can't do about the third one, stupid.
Somewhere around the mystery shack. Dipper and Mabel tried to stop him, but it only made things worse as Gideon steals Dipper's journal. Plus, with no shack and no job, Stan can't take care of the twins anymore, so they hop on a bus to head back home. But once Gideon realizes he got Journal 3 and not Journal 1, he assumes Dipper swindled him and is running off with the last journal for himself. Dipper doesn't even know there is more than one journal, so obviously the only logical thing to do is giant robots. Yeah, he hops in a giant robot Gideon and chases after the twins' bus. This kid's got no
That's a
chill.
big giant robot.
Oh no! But then Dipper bursts into the cockpit of the robot and starts beating up Gideon. Woo! Fighting is cool! But then the robot falls off a bridge and they all plummet to their doom. Woo! Children dying is cool! But then Mabel pulls out a grappling hook that she got in episode 1 and hasn't appeared again at all until the season finale, and she saves Dipper and herself from dying from both a terrible fall and a giant
Even though she
fall.
bought the grappling hook, we didn't see her do it till the end of season 1.
But Gideon knows the town loves it, so he starts to pull a fast one once the cops show up. I know you just saw me attack 2 children with a giant robot, but actually, they're the bad guys. Arrest them now with no evidence necessary. That sounds more like the grandma from Big City Greens. But
Yeah, it does.
Thurop Van Orman's voice. Who? But the cops are like, we're totally inept at our job, so okay. But then Stan shows up and proves to everyone that Gideon's a fraud and a creep because he was using hidden cameras to spy on everyone in town to keep up his psychic charade. The town finally turns on Gideon and he's rushed off to jail. The Pines get their home back and everything is back to normal.
Yeah, basically they had to
Stan
rebuild
finds
the
out about
mystery shack.
journals And is like, that's stupid. You're stupid. I'ma take this. And walks away with Dipper's journal. He goes back through his secret vending machine door, enters some secret lab, and he has the other 2 journals. Okay? He puts the books
Yeah.
together, revealing some
Stan has number 1,
gets the
Gideon
one
had number
time
2,
machine,
and
pulls it
Dipper
up,
had
a
number
portal
3.
opens up, and then season 2. And things hit the ground running.
What?
Gravity Falls
I know what
is
happens in the
2
second
seasons
season.
After all, so a lot got crammed into these 20 episodes. Let's see how much of it I can get through before my freaking brain explodes. A big chunk of this season is all about Dipper trying to find the author of the journals and get to the bottom of FBI, open up! Oh crap. It's the Fed! Yep.
What the heck?
Agents show up having picked up some strange activity.
That's not what the Fed agents look like.
Uncle Stan's just like, what? Nah, but whatever. The hunt for the author is on. Eventually, the gang
Oh,
finds
you can make him
a
look like whatever he
laptop
wants.
taken from one of the author's old labs. A little label that says McGucket Labs. McGucket, also known as Old Man McGucket, is a
Old Man McGucket.
prospector guy in Gravity
Right.
Falls who is like a weirdly great inventor, but like he's the
Yeah,
author
when
of
I
the
first
journal?
saw
Well,
Old Man
doesn't actually
McGucket,
remember.
he acted like a
That is
crazy,
until
thought he was
Dipper
just a
shows up.
crazy old man like everybody else does.
He freaks out and
But in a later
starts to
season 2
investigate.
episode, there's more to him that meets the eye.
History where they discovered the Society of the Blind Eye, a secret society dedicated to erasing the minds of Gravity Falls citizens anytime they see something freaky or supernatural in town. Which means they do that a lot. They find a log of McGucket's memories, and it turns out this crazy prospector guy used to be a brilliant inventor who worked alongside the man who wrote the journals. But one day he saw something so disturbing that he invented a device to help him forget about it. He started the Society of the Blind Eye, and it was his
I'm not gonna tell you what that disturbing thing he saw.
But on the bright side,
You'll just have to
whenever he
figure it
goes
out
to
for
the store,
yourself.
He gets to work repairing the laptop, and what he finds, it ain't pretty. Hey, Mr. Chummy.
What the heck?
No, he discovers that something
Oh.
awful is about to happen to Gravity Falls.
I know, I'm just being goofy. I know it was not that.
I
I tell you what, he does that.
Mystery Shack, causing weird shifts in gravity and starting a countdown until it fully activates. And then things really hit the fan. The Mystery Shack gets raided by a bunch of those government agents, and
Oh no!
is arrested for suspicious activity, stealing drums of radioactive waste, and creating a suspected doomsday device, like a giant portal machine that makes gravity go all wacky.
Yeah, it makes gravity go all cuckoo.
Try to find evidence to clear Stan's name, but instead they find a newspaper clipping about a car crash that killed Stan Pines, as well as one about this unnamed grifter in town. Huh. So Stan Pines isn't Stan Pines. I mean, he could be literally anyone then. We don't know. Also in that box was the code to the vending machine door. So the gang investigates and finds Stan's crazy lab, his giant machine, and the journals. And
Yeah, the journals
are all over the place. Stiffer is furious and is convinced Stan's a criminal who stole all the journals. But Mabel's still trying to give Stan the benefit of the doubt. Whatever's happening, they gotta turn off that machine. But just before they can do it, Stan bursts through the door and tells them to stop. Just then, gravity goes all nutso again, tossing everyone into separate corners of the lab, except Mabel, who manages to latch onto the deactivation switch. After pleading back and forth in one of the most dramatic things I've seen in a cartoon ever, Mabel decides to trust Stan's word, the countdown reaches 0, and the machine goes off, the lab's destroyed, but a mysterious figure comes out of the portal. Someone with 12 fingers, and who looks almost exactly like Stan. This is Stan's brother, Stan. Flashback to New Jersey in the 1980s.
Yeah, they both have the same name. I don't know why.
Stanford and Stanley. Stanford was born with 6
But their
fingers on his
but
hands and was a freaking
their
genius,
short
and
names mean
Stanley
something else.
well, Grunkle Stan. These two were inseparable, but an
Yeah.
accident at Stanford Science Fair project in high
He has
school
6 fingers,
chances of getting into a
making him a
college
12-handed freak.
Stanley spent years after that peddling crappy scam products that would fail so bad he'd get run out of town. While Stanford blasted through college and began to study scientific anomalies, moving to a small town in Oregon that was known for its weird happenings and writing all of his findings down in a journal. But seeing weird stuff wasn't enough. Stanford wanted to find the source of these anomalies, but kind of reached a dead end in his research and got desperate. So he summoned a mystical being for answers, Bill Cipher. And he was like, "Hey, dude, if you let me invade your mind at will, I'll help you do your homework." And Stanford was like, this seems safe. It was Bill's idea to build a portal. So Stanford and his partner, Fiddleford McGucket, got to work. McGucket accidentally
I love that drawing of young McGucket.
Discovered what was really on the other side. He saw some pretty messed up stuff, so he quit, and we know what happened after that. Bill tricked Stanford. He thought he was finally accomplishing his life's work, but he was really helping a demon emerge our dimension with his own crazy nightmare one. So Stanford shut the whole thing down and tried to hide all of his work so that no one could ever reactivate the portal. He had to hide the journal. So he called up Stanley and asked him to take a journal and get as far away as possible. But Stanley, who thought his brother was trying to reconnect, was just like, that's it. He gets super upset and they start fighting. In all the chaos, Stanley accidentally pushes Stanford into the portal and the portal shuts down. Without the other 2 journals, there's no way to turn it back on. Stanford was stuck in another dimension. So Stanley began a new life in Gravity Falls, turned the house into the Mystery Shack, and took Stanford's name so that he could support himself and stay in town while he worked to find the
Stan's a freak.
reactivate the machine, and save his brother. And on top of that,
basically he tried to get the journal so he can rescue his brother.
Yeah. This is still a show for 10-year-olds on the Disney Channel, right? Oh, crap. Back in the present, the government is still after the Pines. But Stanford, or I'm just going to call him Ford from now on,
just call him Ford, okay?
That Dipper kept with him to wipe all their memories and save the day. Hooray! But good lord, we are not done yet.
Why?
When Stan turned on the portal machine, it created a little interdimensional rift that Ford encased in a globe. The most dangerous snow globe ever. If that rift ever broke, it'd give Bill Cipher an open window to slither into our dimension and cause trouble. So, yeah, we gotta prepare for that. The Pines managed to Bill-proof the shack with some magic junk just in time for the rift to start cracking. I'll just skip the build-up and say Bill ended up tricking Mabel into handing over the rift and oops, Butterfingers, now the world's ending. It's Weirdmageddon, everybody. The end of the world has never been so quirky. Bill and his gang of kooky demons hop into Gravity Falls and start wreaking havoc, turning people into stone and taking them to this weird pyramid in the sky. But
basically, he turned them into a chair.
Magnetism. I wasn't joking earlier. That's a real thing. Bill and his weirdness can't spread further than Gravity Falls. So, silver lining. Back in the apocalypse, Dipper manages to find Wendy and Seuss, and the three of them set off to find Mabel, who's trapped in a giant prison bubble that Bill created. Inside it is
Shouldn't he do a drawing of Wendy's warrior form?
To make a long story short,
her warrior attire from Weirdmageddon?
The mystery shack where they find Grunkle Stan and a bunch of their friends.
Yeah, basically Bill trapped Mabel and they had to rescue her in part 2.
Neat. So the gang meets up with Stuckhead and decides to turn the house into a freaking giant robot to fight Bill. Yeah, we're back on giant robots. And this also
It's a giant freaking robot.
Breaks out between the house robot and the demons, and it is so cool. And while Bill's distracted fighting the house,
it's a pretty cool
the
fight
gang
sequence.
break into Bill's castle, free Ford and the rest of the people who return to Stone, and start working on a plan to finally defeat Bill. But before they can really do anything, Bill shows back up, captures a bunch of their friends, puts Dipper and Mabel in a cage, and demands Ford tell him how to break out of Gravity Falls. But luckily, Dipper and Mabel manage to distract Bill and escape long enough for the Stans to come up with a new plan. Ford agrees to give Bill what he wants to save Dipper and Mabel. So, Bill enters Ford's mind and... Wait, that's not Stanford. Oh, dip! The Stans switched clothes and tricked Bill into going into
The Stans had to trick Bill
Cipher.
Cipher.
And while Bill was inside Stan's head, Ford used the blind eye memory eraser to completely wipe Stan's mind, taking Bill with it. Woo! And with that, Bill is finally gone. The rift into the Nightmare Realm is closed, everyone's freed, and everything is back to normal. Except Stan still lost all his memories. He doesn't even remember his family.
Yeah, because they erased it.
That didn't last long. And with the world saved and everything back to normal, it's time for summer vacation to end. Stan and Ford team up to go adventuring like they always wanted. Seuss gets put in charge of the Mystery Shack, and Dipper and Mabel leave Gravity Falls. And
the ending to Gravity Falls makes me think of the one from the first Digimon anime, Digimon Adventure.
Wait, if Bill Cipher was in Grunkle Stan's mind before it was erased, and Stan got all his memories back, wouldn't that mean Bill Cipher could come back too? Who knows? Show's been over for 4 years, so it probably doesn't matter. Anyway, reality's an illusion. The universe.
What the heck?
Bye.
Is Bill possessing him? Oh my god! Bill, get off of that guy! Okay. So now I remember everything about what happened in Gravity Falls, along with Steven Universe and the Sonic movie. Well, I didn't talk about the plot because the movie wasn't released yet. Oh well. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.